Greetings, community, and welcome to Enterpine Comics and another edition of, well, my pre-order arrived, and it's time for an unboxing. This is, as you well know, I end up putting all my stuff in a particular order, and what's that? I already removed them out of the box. I just rebag them, reboard them, and put them in order, and what's that? It's kind of cohesive for me to go ahead and display not only to you, but for me to go ahead and organize for myself a reading order, a logging order, and all that type of thing. So you have an understanding of, I guess, my method. I want to thank everyone that cruised in on the rewind. I appreciate you greatly. And for those of you that cruise on through on the live, just take a moment and say hi. Yo, Barry, how you do? I hope all is well with you. Appreciate you, buddy. Seriously. All right, let's get in some books. As I mentioned before, pre-order arrived, and damn, I got a stack. I wanted to jump right into it because if I actually did a breakdown and actually did kind of review on every single book, we'd be here for a few hours. That ain't going to happen. But I will go ahead and select a few, and let's go ahead and jump on into Spider Girl. Issue number 1. First appearance, if I do recall, has somewhere in that Spider Boy issue number 11 into issue number 12. But we definitely get a full appearance. I really have been not only anticipating this book, I think if I already recall, I already have read it. I dig it, and I can't wait to go ahead and revisit it once again because issue number 2 comes out tomorrow on 7/16/2025. All right, very, and yet another, and yet because of the success of what's been happening with the old Marvel rivals, I've been getting these covers, not necessarily for myself, but for Kai, and he's been digging them. I've been digging them, and it's kind of been working out for both of us. So that was all the Spider Girl there. As I mentioned before, Spider Girl's first appearance was in Spider Boy. Here we are, basically 2 years later at the first appearance of Spider Boy, and this story is still solid. I can't get enough. Those that have been reading it have been enjoying it. I've yet to anyone that has first started reading this state a real anything negative at this point about this character, and has integrated itself rather well into the Marvel Universe. It's another go ahead and variant right there. Or no, I would say, right? Same. Got heavy because it was the Mr. Negative came back, and he was, it was a big deal. It's like first time he actually got to find a grade level A villain. So look at that. Isn't that awesome variant? I know I'm flipping through, but as I made mention before, I got a lot of books to get through. So let's get into Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5. I've been really digging the first 4 issues. It's been really cool. Yo, brother, I appreciate you being here. Hope all is well with you, Paul. I know you're if it's truly in the 6.9, you're not far from me. I'm just saying. There's another variant. I've really been digging it, and I've been digging the art and the stuff. It's really been cool. Bermuda, you know what I'm saying? Issue number 6. As you could see, I'm a little behind, but that doesn't mean that I ain't enjoying what I'm reading. Because I am. Hellgate, I really had my iffies and buts, but it actually turned out that this character is pretty cool. It actually is really rather cool. Well, that means you're not that far away from me, man. I'm gonna have to. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make a San Diego Con this year. I'm gonna hit up my LCS and see what they can do for me. But if I do cruise on down, I'll definitely give you a ring-a-ding. Yeah, I know, aren't they? They're actually the covers have been actually coming out pretty cool with them. Speaking of Spider-Man, here's an Amazing Spider-Man giant size, and issue number 1. Cool thing is I really like when Zdarsky starts, writing. So I believe there's like I don't know, maybe 2, maybe 3 stories in this thing. So I really love reading Zdarsky, not only just stories, but definitely Spider stories. Giant size X-Men. If I recall, it's like 5, maybe 6 issues that tell us this whole story. I remember talking to Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing about this thing. And they were very excited about the story. They told me probably a little bit more than they were supposed to at the time we said they were writing it. So it kind of hyped me up. I'm not normally doing the team, books, X-Men, Fantastic Four, stuff like that, but that was an exception, definitely. I saw this 1-100. It looks pretty cool. Don't have the money, but but man, is it a tease? I'm also a huge fan of Koblish. He does live, in the vicinity, so it's another reason why I had to get it. I'm digging this all new Venom. I mean, love it, hate it. It's definitely different, and it definitely offers a twist in the story and what's that I don't think any of us thought we would ever see. So I not only for that am digging it, but at the same point, it is rather well written. That's actually a picture I never thought I'd ever see either. All right. Oh, so that was way back there, huh? Did I mix that up? There was an original sin, right? Yeah. So that was issue number 1. This is issue number 2. Issue cover B of issue number 1. Get that in order. Here I was all like almost bragging about how I got the stuff in order, and it's like all out of order. I'm not out of order. All right, and here we go. Eddie Brock Carnage. Now, it really takes an individual's understanding of not only the visceral aspect of what this character is actually supposed to be and portray, but it takes an individual that actually, beyond understanding, has a way of being able to tell that kind of a story. In my opinion, not everybody has the talent to go ahead and write a Carnage story. Charles Soule is just, for lack of a better way, is killing it. I'm just saying. So there's 4. Here's issue number 5. Look at that cover. Look. I'm really digging this series. I can't get enough. And the way Charles is writing this thing is rather awesome. Death to Silver Surfer. Issue number 1 right here. I've yet to read. I'm dying to get into it because issue number 2 comes out tomorrow. I got both. Cover A, cover B. Avengers Academy. With the success of Strange Academy, it seems like everyone's going to give their Academy shots out of it. So, also seemed kind of cool. Kind of neat. I don't know. Give it a shot. Ultimate Spider-Man has been really solid in this whole Ultimate Universe that's been playing out. We're going to get this, basically, the Ultimate Universe is only supposed to play out for 2 solid years. After that, it's supposed to kind of go away as a story. Now, if it kind of resurface or if it's rebooting after that, I'm not quite certain. Or if it's just continuing, I'm rather, again, uncertain. But that was the announcement of late that that's what it was supposed to do. Just saying. So that was a Ultimate Spidey 17, right? Which again, like I said, is I've been digging. Also, along with that, Ultimate Wolverine issue number 6, which has been rather solid, especially now that Wolverine got his memory, kind of jarred into a new frame of mind, which is, I guess, is his whole frame of mind. So we'll see how that plays out. This being able to utilize him as an agent in this upcoming battle that we're going to see. Everything's coming to a closure. My understanding, about 5 or 6 months. So we'll see how that plays out. It's a few of them, but I guess the most local would be considered Comic Bug here in Manhattan Beach. That's what I've been kind of utilizing mostly. And they do have one sitting on top up there. I've been looking at it. I think they'll cut me deal soon. Oh, isn't that 100 book the same cover? Yes, it is. It most certainly is. That's why I've been thinking about waiting for another week or 2, because I know after that I go ahead and make a deal with them. That's what I kind of do. The Ultimates. I did read this, if I recall. And yeah, here we go. It's a reboot. I mean, they've got beat up. They knew that beyond licking their wounds, I had to get an education in their spanking. So that's what we see in that story, and I'm dying to see how this works out, because this has really been evolving in a way that it was unexpected for me. I really decided it was going to be some of these Ultimates really fall flat. So this story has been working rather well. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, the Incursion. Now, this is also a separate thing in this whole Ultimate thing. At the same point, I do believe it does tie in indirectly, and then we'll see how that works out. In my understanding, in about a month or 2, when we start seeing how these teams as we see them team up and go ahead and kind of plot their next thing to do, I don't think that real execution is really supposed to happen for at least issue 1 and 2. There will be some skirmishes and battles, but I don't think it really is supposed to play out until down the road. I could totally be wrong. I am a sucker and a half for blank covers. I'm always in hopes that I'll run into somebody that'll go ahead and do some work for me, not only cheap, but what I'm looking for. And it's just, especially when I go to certain places, I end up running into individuals that I don't necessarily would expect to be there. And sometimes off the cuff, I'll go ahead and make requests. And sometimes I'll just randomly grab certain books, even though these individuals didn't work on it. Just saying. Because I know their talents. So I want to utilize them as best as I can. All right, Ghost Spider issue number 12. After I learned that it ended at 15 and did a reboot, I ended up having to go out and get 12. And then 13. And then I think I got 14 here. And then there it is, right? Way down there. Yeah. And then 15 here. So, yeah. 12. 13. Which I love those two covers. They're really unique in comparison to 14, which is a bridge from 13 to 15. See what I mean? Really cool. Can't wait to get into it. And then, yes, I already pre-ordered issue number 1. God, I'm trying not to get into all these stories. I really am. But as you see, I can't help myself. All right, moving on from that. Here's a blank cover, as I mentioned. And what is this? Shit. Sometimes I can see through the tissue paper, and I don't like ripping the tissue paper of some of these books. It allows me to preserve the cover best, especially if they already come with it and it's not damaged in any way. Try to maintain it. Oh, the new history of DC Universe. U. It's going through my alphabet or my vowels there. So yeah, again, another thing with my LCS and along with my pre-order stuff, if I don't think my LCS will get a particular cover, I'll end up doing it. This is one that I know I got through the LCS. So I did make a mix here, so just so you have an understanding. Where's that other book? Oh, here we are. Okay. Moving down the road. Spider-Verse, Venomverse, Higgins, and Groom. I am a Higgins fan, and Groom I just recently met. He's a cool dude. And yeah, I am digging this storyline. It's really cool. Sometimes these verse things are kind of also fall flat, and it seems like they're just kind of a money grab. I'm not only being entertained by this, along with some of the spiders have been introduced of recent, but I'm seeing how their powers and how their recent introduction is being utilized in these present stories, which in my opinion isn't just a money grab. They're actually using these characters pretty cool, and it's pretty fun to see how these new characters are interacting with some of the older characters. I'm entertained. Keep doing what you're doing, Higgins and Groom. All right, here's the Gwenpool. It's no mystery now who recently came about, and who would ever guess that Mary Jane would have came back? It's amazing how these people can come back in Marvel Universe even after 30, 40, 50 plus years. Oh my God. Look at that cover. Look. Gotta admit, that one's actually pretty sick too. All right, Jeff. Again, it's my son. He's been doing this whole Marvel Rivals thing, and I sometimes will pick up all ages books, not only necessarily just to read them for myself, but I in turn then put them in. Bam. That box right there. Why? Because that box is the box I end up filling up for Halloween. So when I give out candy, I also give out some comics. There's a variant right there. So yeah, it just kind of works out for everybody. And Magic, this was something I've been getting for Kai. He digs this character. I knew very little about this character. I knew of the character and the lore of the character, but as far as reading it, I've been letting Kai read it and then go ahead and give me the breakdown, which has been kind of cool. So there's 4, there's 5, there's 6. That's actually a really cool cover. And yeah, I think there you might be. Nope, that was it. Doctor Strange of Asgard, issue number 4. The battle still rages on for Doctor Strange to try to obtain some power to go ahead and make challenge for his Sorcerer Supreme once again. This whole Doom stuff that's going on, I really been loving. Really have. And I'm not really necessarily a major Doom fan because why? I don't normally do those team books. Remember I was saying that before? The Infinity Watch has been pretty good. I just read issue 4, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. And I did that last night. So I'm looking forward to jumping into this thing. That story, it's odd because again, I'm reading so much. When I first jump into the story, I kind of forget what I read of how it leads into it. And as soon as I get about 3 pages into it, I'm like, oh yeah. As soon as I get about 5 pages into it, I'm kind of engulfed. You know what I mean? It's something it takes me a little bit to kind of acclimate to. And once I do, I'm just all in. Wolverine, speaking about all in book, this thing has been awesome. And here we are. This leads into issue number 8, which we get that whole full appearance. Hell Hulk's fully put together and all that. So can't wait to get into all that. Mortal Thor. What is it? I think it ends on issue 25, and then we reboot Thor all over again. So what? Thor dies? Nah. No way. But I already pre-ordered issue number 1. So yeah, I'm talking about Doom. Here's Doom's Division. This team has actually been kind of interesting. They're starting to come to the reality that they're being kind of manipulated, but they still feel true behind what they're actually doing. So ethically, they're trying to do the right thing. Morally, they're trying to do the right thing, but they're actually coming to some challenges with who they're doing it for or in the name of. So that was issue number 3. There's issue number 4. One World Under Doom, issue number 5. Which I mean, again, this is, I think it's a 11 issue, or that would probably be a 12 issue series, but we did it over a course of that 11 issue time period. This is really, I really been digging this whole Doom stuff. I can't get enough. As you see, I've been getting everything attached to it in any and all ways. So yeah, it's been really cool. Rivals Ignite. That was purely because of, again, Kai and his love for Rivals. Got me interested. I'm a Sakai's fan, massive Sakai fan. So yeah, it just led into me end up buying all this Rival stuff. Did already read that. Did enjoy it. Speaking of Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, this is a story I've enjoyed from them. It brings me back to stories I used to read of these characters. That this is a massive hybrid of a bunch of them. This is rather unique, and I also get to have some art from Jared Chang. So, I mean, did I say Jared? I didn't mean Jared. That's the guy I work with. God, now I can't remember his first name. But Chang. Bernard, there we go. All right, well, hey, I appreciate you being here, and I'll be seeing you soon. You stay well. Late. I'm a massive crossover fan of most books, and especially in a book of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know much about this Naruto, but after reading this, I think I'm starting to get a little understanding of this character. Doesn't really matter. I'm really enjoying the storyline as it's being told so far, so I can't get enough. And here we are with issue number 4. We got one more issue, and I can't wait to get into this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 9. Jason Aaron has been doing an amazing job with this storyline. I can't get enough. I am a Turtles fan, but I can't say enough of the contribution that Jason has been doing. He's been telling a story that's totally unique. And yeah, it's just, it has a gravity like nothing else I've read from these Turtles before. Exquisite Corpses. And this is a exclusive that I was able to, get a few of. So I got a few of them. And yeah, definitely a few of them. I did get to read issue number 1. I'm dying to get to issue number 2. I guess these things are actually going for some money nowadays. I am just floored by not only the concept of the storyline, but how it's been able to be not only portrayed in the sense of its art, in the sense of the individual characters, how they're presented to us, but the overall storyline, how it's being presented to us. It's not necessarily just being dialogued out in some way and that we're being baited down the road, as much as it's framing up something more than just a story, as we all know now. There's supposed to be a game associated with it, and it seems like they're also giving us almost like roles that are being associated with the game that's going to be presented to us, I assume, when everything's said and done. There it is. I don't know if no, can't quite see it. So as you saw, there's an issue number 1. I didn't get to read that. Here's the cover to issue number 2, which is the polybag aspect 2. These guys, this is the polybag cover. This is without the cover. I'm getting all of the card stuff. So anything that has a card in it, I'm getting. Even I have a couple books back there that are not only second prints of issue number 1 in 25, or yeah, I got like 3 of those, but I also end up getting the cover Bs, which my understanding are also coming with cards that have come in the actual polybags themselves. So here we go with Young Blood issue number 2 and issue number 3. The idea behind this, not only Rob Liefeld, releasing this stuff for us and for those in which that may not originally read it, but he's getting to issue number 100 so he can get his, meaning a legacy number 100. Right now, I want to say he's somewhere in that 95, 96 realm. I don't believe it's on here. I didn't see one. Let's look. I will check. It's usually on the barcode. But I don't recall last that I looked that I saw one. Looking. Oh, maybe. It might be a legacy number of 97 on this one. So if we're saying 97, I'm going to look on the other one. This might be a legacy 97. And if this one says 98 on the 42 number, then I end up knowing that that is true. No, this is 97 also. Oh, that has a 98 there. So let me look on the other one. And if it has a 97, where I think it might. 98. Shit. I don't know. All right. Well, back to what I was saying before. The idea behind it is for Liefeld to get to a legacy number. That legacy number is 100, and he's inching up on it ever so close. I want to say he's in that 97 realm. So when he gets to, hypothetically, around issue number 5 or issue number 6, he'll hit that legacy number of 100. I'm looking for a double-sized issue of that. And Young Blood was something that I did enjoy as a kid. Oh, big kid. When it came out. All right, G.I. Joe. Oh, issue number 7. Yeah, there we are. And 8. And I think 9 comes out tomorrow. I'm going to have to look at that. I really have been digging this whole G.I. Joe thing ever since it came out, with Kirkman buying the franchise, integrating it with Transformers. I'm just looking forward to how further this thing evolves with the integration of these characters. And the whole new, I guess, this is considerably way more mature in comparison to the TV version that we end up seeing. Was geared for anywhere from that 9 to 13-year-olds. This is definitely geared for somewhere in that, 14 on up. So I really been enjoying the fact that it's a little more mature than what I remember as a kid, and considerably graphic and hardcore and more depth to the storyline as a whole. Speaking of which, this contribution of Void Rivals to the whole franchise of this Energon universe is not only pinnacle, but in my opinion, essential. So if you're reading just one G.I. Joe or the other Transformers, I highly recommend that you bridge that gap with Void Rivals so you have an understanding of its origin on either side. And I do recommend doing all 3. Speaking of which, Transformers, issue number 21. I think even 22's out there, right? I don't know. I do know I'm behind. I'm waiting. I'm trying to play catch up. I got a few more books I still have to read behind me, like 16. Shit. And then I can go ahead and get into this one, which still puts me like 5 weeks behind. Battle Beast. If I recall, this is like a third printing. Yeah. And I think I got something stupid like 3 of them. Yeah. Only because I thought they were going to end up coming with, I thought there were more blind back things. The way it was advertised, I really thought it was like a second print blind bag thing. I don't know. Unless I am going to give one of these things away. That's what's going to happen. And then, yeah. So Kai is into the storyline. I had to get it. He wanted it. And I did get the blind bag thing. So it kind of made sense to me go ahead and try to get another shot on what I thought was going to be a second printing of the blind bag thing. Is what it is. Moving on. World Tree. This is definitely not for everyone. It's definitely for me. I like the stuff that kind of bridges between a conspiracy theory, but it also has the elements of a dystopian style storytelling. It is definitely unique. It's an underworld style storyline. And yeah, it is just freakish weird and way cool. So yeah, it's Tynion, right? Yeah, he's doing an amazing job with that. And he's kind of split everywhere between that and Wind, which is what I think is the third installment to the storyline. And this one is just getting, the story started out as almost like an all ages, and it's definitely progressed to something that's dark. Really, really dark in its storytelling. I was born a fashion school killer, serial killer, issue number 3. Oh, I think, wait, did I? Issue number 2. Yeah, I guess I did do 2. Really what the story is this does bridge gap with another one. What is it? Vinyl. Yeah, we end up seeing this character in the story of Vinyl. And it does explain a lot about this character, how she ended up becoming the way she is and how her psyche is developed and devolved the way it did. So I really love the story. I dig everything that Wagner does along with Hilliard. I can't get enough. And yeah, this is just a beautiful contribution to something that's extremely sick. Usagi Jimbo. As I made mention, I'm a huge Stan Sakai fan. Have been for the past. Well, let's just go back to 1987. Wow. And yeah, I've been reading his stuff on and off ever since, and I can't get enough of it, especially when we're talking about this is a new storyline, the 10,000 Plums, to my understanding. This is issue 4 of 5 of that storyline. And if you're not reading a Stan Sakai story of present or your, I just recommend that you give it a shot. Pick anything. They're usually quick little storylines of anywhere from 3 to 5 issue minis. And it's easy to get in and out. If you're not satisfied, I more than guarantee once you start reading it, you'll be hooked. Final Shot, issue number 2. The Big Bang. Yeah, with Oswald's contribution with Sealy, this has turned into, even more of a storyline that I not only enjoy, it's definitely heavy on the mature side, but the individuals that are writing it are definitely of my age bracket and everything. So I really do understand the storyline which that they're telling, but they're also paying a lot of, how should I say, respect to a lot of the past adult contributions that have been made and in the individuals that have been made them. So it's really cool, not only as a overall storyline, the concept is really brilliant, especially in today's present administrational environment. But it does show significance on the tongue-in-cheek of what they're trying to do in the overall story, which is really, really enjoyable. Department of Truth, issue number 30. This continues to be pursuing the premise in which that it started out to be, and the storyline does keep getting thicker and thicker. The overall story is getting to the point to where it seems like no matter what decision is being made, it's almost like you can't do any right. So the major players in this game have major decisions to be made, and it seems like I stated before, no matter what they make, it just seems like it's screwing all of us as a whole. I've really been digging the story, and it's another one of those tiny stories, right? Isn't it? Sure enough. Yeah, James doing a wonderful job in that thing. All right, moving on. The Mummy. I believe after this, what is it? The Invisible Man will be done after that. I really been enjoying all these classic monster stories. The retelling of these stories have been Universal Monsters. The retelling of these stories in a way that humanizes these monsters has been really, really hooking me into something that I not normally. I mean, I've read some of these classic monster stories to where they've been retold so many times and been told so much better in the past that I've been desensitized to even try them of light, So when I was first looking into these storylines, I gave just one, I can't remember, it was Dracula or Frankenstein, its shot. But it got me because every time they tell these stories, they humanize the characters, monsters, to where it really allows me to feel more for the character than I ever did before. Because the original storylines, they always give you that desensitized feeling of they're just monsters and why should I care? Because I really have enjoying this for that very reason. All right, Geiger. Now, I've been looking forward to this thing to be released. What was it, month 7? I think hopefully within a half a year we'll end up seeing, I think something like, isn't it on Netflix or Amazon? I don't know. This thing's being made, my understanding. Jeff Johns is just killing it with this overall story, and this is just awesome. Geiger's is awesome. But the whole thing that he's having these battles with the cloning woman, and you end up finding out the original person that assisted him for not blowing up and giving his original rods and all that. Yeah, this is cool. Speaking of cool, Hyde Street. And because of which, when originally High Street was launched, and is a little brief introduction in that whole Gold Ghost Machine book that gave us a little tidbits of stuff. And then we see the story that came out shortly after it, which was Devour. That ended up leading into a further development and telling that we're going to get from Devour, which is a new miniseries. And all that ties into stories that I believe that we're going to get little offshoots of miniseries from the overall Hyde Street, which to me is just, it really brings me back to the Tales of the Dark and like a Twilight Zone style feel and storytelling. And then there's always some type of message in there, usually philosophical or some type of lesson to be learned, definitely moral. I really dig it because of that. Depending on who you are and how you are, you may or may not get out of it, or might be getting something extremely more than I am. If so, please tell me and drop it in the comments below. I'm just curious to see what you have to say. Feral, issue number 13. This story by Fleeks is just, I really am a huge Tony Fleeks fan. Most of you have been following me know this already. And I can't get enough of this story in particular. When you go ahead and take characters, pets, I'm already a sucker for pets. And then you go ahead and they put them in an environment of where most things are rabid and just want to rip it apart. I'm all in. Feral, issue number 10, cover D. Look at that art. Yeah, so I really have been enjoying the storyline overall, and I can't get enough. So Tony, just keep doing what you're doing. Now keep buying it. Vatican, issue number 3. The first 2 really got me. Once I end up seeing issue number 1, how they were stuck in the Vatican, and actually issue number 2, and they're knowing that they got nothing to do, and they're basically, yeah, they don't have many options. I am dying to jump into issue number 3 to see exactly what transpired. This is a cool story. Mark Miller is throwing out a lot of stories right now, being that he did get signed into their franchise works. I can't remember if it's Amazon or Networks or whatever, but yeah, he's spitting them out. We'll see what gets made. Bug Wars, contribution by Jason Aaron. This is another one of the stories that I originally wasn't putting on my radar. I'm already reading too much as it is, but I am a Jason Aaron fan, and this story in particular is a little bit, it's a lot more than just Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It is a story of a kid trying to come to terms with the loss of his father and navigate his way with his present, domestic lifestyle with his mom and his brother. And he saw the same love his dad did for these critters. And he's having an understanding, I believe, what ended up transpiring with his father. He's now become a warrior. And wow, this story is way cool. I can't wait to get into Bug Wars issue number 5. And originally I thought, okay, I'll just get through this little mini, right? And I'll be all done. Damn it, Jason. You didn't say there was going to be the first installment. You just got me. Gotcha, man. Speaking of which, issue number 10. I've been picking up all this stuff that has been, launched as my childhood. And luckily, yeah, it's been good. So I can't get enough. And here I am in issue number 10, nearly a year later. And this book is still solid. Still. There was a moment, though, I actually have to admit, when they ended up doing that. What was it, issue number 5 or 6? Maybe it was 7. But they did it in between where they went to the beach and all that. That was a little weak. Other than that, this has been a really cool book. All right. I've been getting all this DC by Sonic. This is the 3rd printing. So I got 1 of the 2nd. Or is this the 4th? That is 3rd. 1 of the 2nd, 2 of the 3rds, and I got 2 of the 4ths coming. So I really have been digging these costumes with the Flash, Batman, and what was the other one? Can't remember the other one. But I've been digging it. Can't get enough. And hey, I basically went through everything other than a couple of books right here. Just wanted to show you. Like I mentioned before, I am a massive High Street fan. And let's go through a couple quick books. Captain America, issue number 1, released this a couple of weeks ago. That Rivals variant. Adventure Time, issue number 4. I'm getting all the 1 and 10s. My goal is to get all the 1 and 10s for 1 through 6. No idea why. Just decided to do so. Seasons. No, that can't be right. What are you? Is this Seasons? This doesn't seem right. Who are you? It is. What are you? We're going to find out together, aren't we? I gotta. Because that's volume 3 for Geiger there. You are, there we go. Sisterhood of High Street. This is the 1 in 25 variant. Let me put this back. And what that is again, as I was making mention before, Hyde Street is doing a mini-series. This is the incentive for that mini-series. I got tape right here. There we go. Hyde Street, Sisterhood of Hyde Street, issue number 1, cover C. And then, Hyde Street, issue number 7. This is the 1 in 20. Now, all these things are going to go stupid crazy. All the 1 in 20s. So there'll be 3 more coming out. It'll be 8, 9, 10, I believe is where it stops. These are all the cereal covers that is in Hyde Street issue number 7. When you see Frankie eating his cereal up in his little treehouse, these are those very ones. And that is everything I end up getting. I appreciate everyone that cruises on through and those of which that hung out with me on the live. I couldn't have done this without you, or it wouldn't be nearly as much fun. And I do appreciate you, as always, Paul. Shanky girl. Appreciate you, girl. Pear, dude, you spot me right on the beginning. Anybody else that may either be hanging out with me right now or cruising on through on the live, I appreciate you. And that's it for me. Entropy. You take care.